Hey guys, welcome to the video on Bharat and Germany. In this video, we have a very special guest with us who is Raja from Brazil. And he has been living there and makes a lot of very nice YouTube videos on his YouTube channel. I'm going to also put the link for that in the description below. So, Raja, tell us a bit about yourself. How has been the life in Brazil so far? And, what are your experiences?
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you, Bharat, for this opportunity. And my real name is Vaibhav, and I have a YouTube channel.
Sorry, then we have Weber with us.
Okay,
Okay.
no worries. You can call me Raja.
Yeah, because I saw
So,
Raja Bhaiya Brazil and I was like, nice.
great. So I have a YouTube channel, Bhaiya Brazil Wale, and I have been living in Brazil for last 4 years, and I have been exploring Brazil,
Hmm.
all the colors of Brazil.
That's very nice. And Weber, I know that like many people think of Brazil as a country which is where like the people are very warm, they're very open, they're very welcoming. Do you have the same experience, or would you ask people to manage their expectations when they're coming to Brazil?
Okay, well, I have the same experience. I
Hmm.
have the same experience. Brazilians are very friendly and very nice people, very welcoming people.
Hmm.
And one more thing, the fact that I speak Portuguese helped me a lot because nobody speaks English here. Very less people. I would not say that nobody, but very less people speak English because one more fact I would like to tell that Brazilians don't learn English as a compulsory language. Like in India, English is like second language for
Hmm.
us. But in Brazil, they learn English as a foreign language.
Hmm.
So English is not taught as a second language in schools. It is taught as a foreign language. So Brazilians, you will find very less people who speak English here. So if you speak Portuguese, then you will have a very great experience. You will feel like home. You will feel like you are in your home country. Okay,
Hmm.
and even if you don't speak Portuguese, you can manage with the Google Translator. So Brazilians are very nice and very friendly, no doubt. You won't face any issues. You won't face an Indian won't face any kind of racism here.
Vaibhav, we like a lot of our viewers, they are always like interested about like studying in different kind of countries and so on. Can you tell us a bit about the education system in Brazil? Like how does things work? How much do things cost?
Okay. So in Brazil, we have two things like private institutions, private schools, and government. The government ones are totally free. They are totally free if you want to do MBA or any degree in any university, then you can give the entrance exam. There is one entrance exam, NM, ENEM. So if you'll give that exam, then
Mm-hmm.
uh, you can get into a public university.
Mm-hmm.
If you go for private education, it's too costly.
Mm-hmm.
Either it's free or it's too costly.
Mm-hmm.
These two things are there in Brazil. Same with the health facility. Either it's free or it's too costly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and like generally like if you go for private, like how much does it cost? Like what is the fees? Not like exact numbers, but like rough, like if you know some estimates.
It's too much. Like
Okay.
if you do an MBA in any private college, any I would say any ordinary private college, not any big one, you
Mm-hmm.
will be spending around 8 to 10K per month, something like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Crazy. So, and like,
And
what are the living costs then, Weber? Because like, I think Brazil shouldn't be a country where like maybe the living costs are so high or.
cost of living is not too high like Europe or USA. The
Mm-hmm.
cost of living is much better when you compare,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cheaper. For I would say that for a single person, for a bachelor, the I will tell you the minimum wage. The minimum wage in Brazil is like 1100 Brazilian reals.
Mm-hmm.
That would be around 15-16,000 something.
Yeah, yeah.
That's too low because the Brazilian currency is falling. Okay, otherwise it was much better. In a minimum wage, a person can survive.
Mm-hmm.
Means you won't be able to save much, but
Yeah.
paying your room rent and food and paying bills, okay, done.
I was just wondering because like to put things into perspective, Can you give us some numbers, as in, like, let's say you, how much are you paying for rent right now, and how much do you spend on buying stuff like groceries and things like that from the supermarket?
Okay. I'm a pure vegetarian, so my expenses would be around 200 Brazilian reals, maybe
Hmm.
200 or 250, and
That's
then
crazy.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because like I'm
Like,
seeing it in euros right now. It's just 40 euros, and like with 40 euros, I think
yes,
in Germany,
it's too low. It's too low.
yeah,
So
nice.
maybe I would say that up to 300 reals, food is food and groceries and everything. And then when it comes to rent, you can get a good furnished room for around 500 to 900 or 1000 Brazilian reals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in Indian rupees, I would say that around 10K you need at least for a good room,
Hmm.
furnished room with a bathroom. And
Okay.
there are many other options like living in a uh, with shared bathroom and stuff and students. So I would not recommend that because when it becomes too messy.
So like that's the living cost, and then about the food, because I know like many Indians are always concerned, if I move to other country, like can I, like, eat properly? So do you also have some Indian stores like in the area where you're living in, or do you just go to the normal grocery stores and you buy the stuff there?
Unfortunately, Bharat, there is no Indian store, and I think some Indians are getting some things for India and selling here. But there is no Indian store as such, and you won't find any Indian stuff in the supermarkets. You can find easily rice, beans, rajma, chole, and all that we Indians eat, fresh vegetables and fruits. We can even get some masalas like spices like haldi and mirchi and all, few things. But you won't find those exotic Indian products like garam masala and
Yeah.
all. It's 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 too complicated.
Okay.
So I have masalas and all, but those are from India. Means though the Indians who come here, they bring for us. We
Hmm.
ask them to bring something for us.
Hmm. Hmm.
So when it comes to Indian products, Brazil is like a desert. You won't
Okay.
find anything
Crazy, man.
here.
So we are right now in Denmark. So we spend the summers here because we have a house here. And in the supermarkets, for example, you have the naan bread, like that is just like lying, and you can like get it and like heat it and eat. Then you have paneer you can buy in the supermarkets directly, and like you can make shahi paneer whatsoever with that. Then like so many like interest, you can find a lot of masalas too. So in the supermarkets directly. So that's like something interesting. But in Germany, I remember like in almost every single city you are going to have a Indian store. You can buy kurkure there,
Okay.
you can buy some kind of like normal masala, you can buy anything that from India. So that was something I absolutely loved in Germany. I think that was very nice.
Yes, yes. That's the same case in UK, Canada,
Yeah, yeah.
US. But no, you won't find kurkure or anything
Okay.
in Brazil.
Okay, when was the last time when you were in India?
No, I haven't been to India for last 4 years.
Crazy. Okay, do you miss being in India a bit, or do you like your life in Brazil?
Yes, for sure, I miss India.
Mhm.
Definitely, I miss India. I miss it.
Web, how much time did it take for you to kind of like settle down in Brazil? Because many people adapt to different cultures differently. Like for some people, it takes very long time. For example, for me, like to adjust into Germany, it took longer. Like I think it took up to like 6 months or something. And like, how was your experience with that?
No, it took a long time because the culture here is totally different. In India, it's totally different. And here you have to do everything on your own, like washing your utensils, washing your clothes, preparing your food. And the worst thing that no masalas or cheap Indian restaurants are available. Okay, if
Mhm.
you go to any small city, you won't find any Indian restaurant.
Okay.
Indian restaurants are only in big cities like Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro,
Mm.
Curitiba. So if you go to any small city, you won't find Indian restaurants. So it's quite complicated. So it took a lot time.
Yeah.
to adjust, then learning everything on your own. It
And
it will take it will take a lot of time, like around at least 1 year.
do you also have like these Indian consulates or something nearby? So I tell you from Germany, like the Indian consulates, they hosted like Yoga Day, India Day, and Independence Day, Republic Day, all of these things, and then they get the Indians together and like they have a small celebration or something. Is there something like that, like in the place where you're living at, or like there's no consulate or something?
Yes, yes, true. There is an Indian consulate in Sao Paulo
Mm-hmm.
here, and they also host these things, but these things are right now only virtual because of
Yeah.
the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
because the situation of Brazil has been very bad due
Mm-hmm.
to COVID. And we also have an honorary consulate in Rio de Janeiro, and they are very much active in these events like Yoga Day and all, Diwali and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But still, they are also doing everything virtually, and we have an Indian embassy in Brasilia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They also do all these things.
And about the job opportunities, Vaibhav, do you see a lot of like Indians then studying in Brazil and then afterwards finding a job, or is it like not so much?
Indians are very less in Brazil,
Okay.
only around maybe around 10, 12K, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Very less, and very less Indian students. And mostly, I have seen that if you study, then you will get a job.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that you won't face a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who are coming here without a job,
Mm-hmm.
it's quite challenging because, like in India, we have seen the situation of references and all that you
Yeah.
need a reference to get a job. There is a similar situation here. So I have seen Brazilians unemployed. I have seen Brazilians getting changing jobs very fast because they had references.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things that work. So s- it is a challenge for Brazilians, and it's a even bigger challenge for foreigners,
Mm-hmm.
especially people from Asian countries. Because if you are from USA or Canada, the native English speaking nations,
Mm-hmm.
you will get a job easily
Yeah.
because uh, there are many English institutions who employ people from these countries.
That's interesting. And like, so you have been into Brazil. Have you seen like Brazilians having a specific preference about the country they move to? So I tell you about like Germans. Like Germans, like the thing is like no country is like happy with their own country. Like they always like want to move somewhere else. Germans like they love to like move to Switzerland because they think okay, like very nice salary and like very nice sceneries and everything, or to like Denmark and like other countries. Do you also see like Brazilians moving to a specific country in like larger numbers?
Yes, Brazilians like to move to European countries and European countries and USA
Mm-hmm.
and Canada,
Mm-hmm.
all first world countries. So
Yeah.
see, Brazil and India both are third world nations,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we both, India and Brazil, have the similar tendency of moving to first world countries.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many Brazilians who dream of going to European countries. And recently, I met a person who want to go to Portugal because the getting citizenship of Portugal or PR of Portugal is much easier for Brazil
Mm-hmm.
because Brazil was a Portuguese colony.
Okay, interesting. So like now coming to this PR and citizenship story, what is how much time does it take to get the permanent residency or citizenship in Brazil, and what are the requirements?
See, if you don't marry or you don't have a child here, like that family reunion case, when the case is of family reunion, if you are married to a Brazilian citizen or you have a Brazilian child,
Mm-hmm.
so you can apply for Brazilian citizenship after 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Means, for example, I am an Indian citizen. I moved to Brazil. I married a woman here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get the PR. Then after 1 year, I can apply for Brazilian citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
And in case of artists, it's 2 years. And if you don't have any of those things, then 4 years.
Okay.
Means a person living here on a work visa work visa is of 2 years. So he'll be working 2 years, then work visa will be extended. Then after completing 4 years, he'll become eligible to apply for Brazilian citizenship. And to apply Brazilian citizenship, you need some certification of Portuguese. That's it was not the case earlier, but
Mhm.
now in the new law they have made it compulsory.
Mhm. And how many years? Because in Germany, the requirements are the same. Like for permanent residency, you essentially have to stay for 4 years and you have to pay your taxes and everything in Germany. And for citizenship, it takes like 8 years. And do you know about like how long it takes for the citizenship in Brazil? Total period of stay. So in Germany, you have to stay for 8 years. Do you have any idea there about Brazil, how long you have to stay?
Maybe 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's less because after applying, the federal police send it to the law ministry,
Okay.
and it is approved in the law ministry, and they publish your name in the official gazette that the
Okay.
person has been naturalized and stuff. So it's quite fast.
Okay. That's interesting. That's pretty
That's
nice.
interesting.
Yeah. And then Vaibhav, what is like your experiences so far? Like, living like many people are always interested about like, going out and things like that. Have you faced any problems there of any kind, or has things been like pretty nice for you?
Well, I haven't faced any such problem, but once I was stopped by the military police of Rio de Janeiro and for a check to they wanted to check me if I had some drugs or something like that.
Mhm.
But yes, because actually I'll tell you that I have seen this thing
Mhm.
that sometimes when uh, you roam near a slum, you
Mhm.
police can take you with them
Mhm.
for checking and stuff because there is lots of drug trafficking, arms smuggling in the
Mhm.
slums of Rio de Janeiro. So they stopped me later. I talk as I speak Portuguese, so I talked to that officer. I showed him that I'm an Indian and stuff.
Mhm.
So he was surprised. He said, "Oh, okay, go away, go away."
That's nice. About like I think the food. So do you see like some massive like what do like people in Brazil like to eat generally? Like, can you find some Indian similarities to that, or is it like completely different food than what you have seen previously?
Okay, cool. Well, I find one thing similar that they eat beans and rice, like we have rajma.
Yeah.
So they have rajma type bean and a black bean. So they eat bean and rice, but their bean is not as spicy as we have.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally no. You won't find any spices in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally plain.
Okay.
So that's the similarity I found. So for a vegetarian, there won't be any problem because Brazilian food has many vegetarian options like
Mm-hmm.
beans, rice, salad, French fries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. And let's say like to wrap it up, Vaibhav, like what are the tips or advices you would like to give to any Indian who is thinking about moving to Brazil? What kind of things he should be prepared for?
Okay, I'll give some advices. Like first, it would be better to learn Portuguese, number one, because you won't find anyone speaking English. For tourism, it's totally okay. You won't find any problem for tourism. You can come out without Portuguese and have fun, chill, and go back. But if you want to live in Brazil, then Portuguese is compulsory. Number one. Number two, you should not be dependent on getting a job or something like that. It would be suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you should develop some skills. Getting a job for non-tech guys is too hard. It's like impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a tech guy, then it would be much easier to get a job or better get some skills like graphic designing or anything digital marketing.
I think like the language thing is something that everybody should definitely understand, that like no matter what kind of country you're going for, like understanding the regional language is regional or national language is just very important. In Europe, you come to any country, like you should be learning the language of that country. Otherwise, like with English, you can only get so far.
True.
For example, in India, if you go towards some fields like civil engineering, where you have to actually be on the construction site, talk to the architects, talk to the construction workers and things like that, of course you will need Hindi or like whatever regional languages there. So I mean, like that's why even when you come to European countries or other countries, I think it's better that you learn the language. I think that's a pretty good advice. Thank you so much for taking out the time, Vaibhav. I think that was very nice to like have this quick discussion about life in Brazil and compare it with Germany. And I will put the link for Vaibhav's channel in the description below for anybody who is interested to see more about the lifestyle in Brazil and so on. Thank you so much again, Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you, Bharat.